Hello everyone, Carson here back on Sudoku on New York Times. Today is May 13th, 2024. Let's start today's hard Sudoku. Okay, so first of all I see that these 4s points left and this cell also sees another 4. So in block 1, the digit 4 is forced into this cell. The 4 in block 4 is forced into one of these two cells and into one of these two cells in block 9. Let's move on to another digit. These 9s point up and this cell also sees another 9. So in block 1, the digit 9 is forced into this cell. This 9 points down and this 9 points right. So in block 9, the digit 9 is forced into column 7 and then these 9s force the digit 9 into one of these two cells in block 6. In block 2, 9 goes into one of these two cells. Another thing I see, that in column 5, this cell sees 9, this cell sees 9, this cell also sees 9. So in column 5, the digit 9 is forced into one of these two cells. And because both of these two cells are both of these two cells are in block 8, and because 9 is forced into one of these two cells for this column, the 9 in other open cells, the 9 in all other open cells in block 8 are eliminated. So these cells cannot contain 9, sorry. These cells cannot contain 9. Speaking of 8, let's see if I can do anything with these 8s right here. Not that I see any. Okay, well, let's just forget about that. Let's move on to 3s. This 3 points right and this 3 points up. So in block 6, the digit 3 is forced into column 9, and then these 3s point up, and this cell sees another 3. Okay, these 3s point down, and this cell sees another 3. So in block 8, the digit 3 is forced into this cell, and then these 3s point left. These 7s point down to force the digit 7 into this cell in block 8, and then these 7s point right. After I place the 7, it points left with this 7 pointing down. The digit 7 in block 7 is forced into this cell. And then these 7s point up, the cell sees 7, so it is forced into this cell in block 1. And then these 7s point right, so do these 7s. Alright, after I place the 7, one of the two possibilities for the digit 3 in block 7 is removed. So this cell, 3 can no longer go in this cell because it's occupied by 7, so it must go in this cell, because you can just look at these 3s and it is forced into this cell in block 7. Alright, what next? This 4 points right and this 4 points down. So in block 8, the digit 4 is forced into column 4, and then these 8s force the 4 in. Did I just say these 8s? These 4s force the digit 4 into one of these two cells in block 5. These 5s point up. I also see that in row 7, these two cells, C5, so it is forced into one of the two open cells that are both in block 8. So it eliminates the 5 from other open cells in block 8, because 5 is forced into one of these two cells for this row. this 6 points up and this 6 points left. So in block 1, the digit 6 is forced into row 1. The 3's are opposite. In block 1, the digit 3 goes into one of these two cells. Okay, so this 8 points down and this 8 points left. So in block 8, the digit 8 is forced into one of these two cells, and these two cells now form a 4-8 pair. Because in block 8, the digits 4 and 8 are still missing, so they have to go somewhere in block 8, and it cannot go into these open cells. So that leaves only 2 open cells remaining for both 4 and 8. So these two digits can only go into these two cells. So these two cells in this case form a 4-8 pair and eliminates all other digits from these two cells. Now, does that do anything? Let's see. Yeah, so the other 4 open cells in block 8 are for 2, 5, 6, and 9. This cell sees 5, 6, and 9. So this cell must be a 2. And the other 3 cells are for 5, 6, and 9. This 2 points right and this 2 points down. So in block 9, the digit 2 is forced into column 9. And then these 2's point up. This cell also sees another 2. So in block 3, the digit 2 is forced into this cell. After I place this 2, this cell became the only available cell for 5, so it has to go here. And, yeah, I think that's it for 5s. Oh, let's continue with the 2's. After I place this 2, the digit 2 in block 2 is forced into this cell. After that, we got the 2 in one of these two cells in block 5. Okay, so I see that in column 8, 1, 6, 7, and 9 are the digits that go into the open cells. This cell, 1, 6, 7, and 9, right? This cell sees 6 and 9, so this cell can only contain either 1 or 7. And that also means both 6 and 9 go into these 3 cells for this column. So that also eliminates the 6 and 9 from other open cells in block 6. Okay, let's look at the open cells in block 2. So 1 goes into one of these two cells because of this 1. We got 5s into one of these two cells because of this 5. 8. This cell sees the 8 down here, and this cell sees 8. So it is forced into one of these two cells, and 9 into one of these two cells because of those 9s. Okay, so this is a really irritating pattern. Yeah. No matter how much you want it, how much you want this these 4 cells to be resolved? You can't. At this moment, you can't. Okay, these sixes points right. Oh, in row 7, these two cells, C2, and this cell also sees 2. And 2 still needs to go somewhere in row 7. So this cell is forced to be a 2, because it is the only available cell for the digit 2 in this row. None of these can be 2, so it must go here. Alright, and then in block 7, the digit 2 is forced into one of these two cells, down in row 9. Five, 6, and 9 are the digits that go into the open cells in row 7. This cell is for 1 or 6 only because it sees 7 and 9 for this column. This cell does not see 1, sees 2, 3, 4, 5, does not see 6, sees 7, 8, and 9. So this cell can only contain either 1 or 6. Oh, in row 4. In row 4, these 3 cells, C, 3, and 8. And this cell also sees 3 and 8. So in row 4, there are only 2 open cells that are both available for 3 and 8. So these 2 cells for row 4 form a 3-8 pair. Because like I said, both 3 and 8 can only go into one of these 2 cells in row 4. So 2 digits go into 2 cells only. These 2 cells form a 3-8 pair in this case and eliminates all other digits from these 2 cells. Meaning that this cell can no longer contain a 4. It forces the digit 4 into this cell in block 4, which then further places the 4 into this cell in block 5. These 3 cells, because in row 4 we got 5 open cells left. 5 open cells left. We found a 3-8 pair, meaning that the remaining 3 open cells are for 1, 5, and 6. Okay, now because in row 4, the digit 5 is forced into one of the 2 cells in block 5. Yeah, because 5 must go into one of these 2 cells for this row. Must. So the 5 from other open cells in block 5 are eliminated. Because if I were to put a 5 into one of these 3 cells, of course these 2 cells can't be 5. But if I were to put a 5 here, then where does 5 go in row 4? Nowhere. So one of these 2 cells are reserved for the digit 5. So it eliminates the 5 from other open cells in the same block, meaning that this cell can no longer contain a 5, this cell sees 5, and this cell sees 5. So in column 6, this cell is the only cell available for 5. So it has to go here for this column. After I place this 5, this is a 1, 9, 8. These 2 cells form a 2, 9 pair for this column. And then the other 3 cells in the same block form a 1, 5, 6 triple, where the 1 has to go into one of these 2 cells. These 5s points left to force the digit 5 into this cell in block 1, which then places the 3 into this cell. The 2 open cells remaining in block 1 are for 1 and 6, which makes this cell an 8. This cell now sees a 3, so it has to go, it has to go here for this row, and this is a 7. Because this cell, these 3s points up. This cell can't be a 3. These 2 cells are for 1 and 6. So that forms a 1, 6 pair in column 9. So that makes these 2 cells 3 and 8. But this cell sees 8, so I can place the 3 and 8 like this, which then places the 3 here. 3s are done. Okay, I'll just fill in the cells. In column 1, we need 1, 6, and 8. This cell sees 6. For row 8, we need 1, 4, 7, and 8, but this cell sees 4 and 7. In column 2, we need 1, 2, and 5. This cell sees a 5. So 5 is eliminated from this cell. 5s go here or here. Okay, this 7 points right. Oh, but there's also this 7. So these 7s force the digit 7 into this cell in block 6, which then places this 1, 6, 1, 6. And then this cell sees 9, so 9 has to go here for this column, which makes this a 6. And this a 1, points left. So this cell is a 1 for this row, then this is a 5, which makes this a 6. No, it's just that these 9s force the digit 9 into this cell in block 5, and then this is a 2. Points left. 5, 6, and 8 go into these 3 cells, but the cell sees 6 and 8, so this is forced to be a 5, which then places the 5 into this cell in block 7, which makes this a 2 because the other 2 cells see another 2, and then this is a 1. This is a 2 to finish off the row. These 2 cells are for 6 and 8. Oh, yeah, I'm missing this one. Yeah, this one basically completes the whole puzzle. This cell sees 8 now. This cell is a 5 to finish off this column, and then it should be done. Alright, so I finished today's New York Times hard Sudoku in just under 20 minutes. So yeah, did take some time, did took a while explaining the pairs and triples that were quite essential. So for example, the 3/8 pair in row 4, the 3/8 pair in row 4, I think that was quite key to place the 4 here. To place the 4 in blocks 4 and 5, which further it forced the digit 5 into one of these two cells in block 5, row 4, which then placed the 5 in column 6. So this kind of chain reaction was very, very essential to spot. And I think early on, a lot of information was given in block 8, even though only one digit was given in block 8. Still, I could place the 3 and 7 and also find the 4/8 pair and the 5/6/9 triple in block 8 very early on, so make sure you spot all the important information. And as usual, all the pairs and triples, just hopefully you find them and that wouldn't be a big problem. So yeah, basically just the 3/8 pair in row 4, which later forced the digit 5 in row 4 to go into one of the two open cells in block 5, which then helped force the digit 5 into this cell in column 6. I think this was the most important thing to spot, and yeah. Right, I'll end today's video here. Feel free to leave a comment to share your thoughts, or if you have any questions, feel free. I'll be glad to reply you. Today is May 13th, 2024. See you all in tomorrow's New York Times Hard Sudoku Solve. Bye!